This is going to be part 3 of my social impact series. It didn't start as a series at all. It's just literally evolved into said series. It's literally here. So part 1 was really me just giving a brief update on how I see like the next year going and things. And then it just really morphed into really a spiritual education, which include tarot cards. Look, personally, I think people will be surprised by it. I think if you go to the second half of that video, and then within that video, I do talk. I don't know if I touched upon social media specifically, but the second video I certainly did, and I was showing. Yeah, I think the first video I touched briefly on the fact that I don't want to be on social media, but I feel that well, I'm not feel. I get a lot of signs that I will be on social media, and it annoys me because I don't particularly want to be there. And then the second video is me really showing how toxic social media is. And now this video, as you can tell, I'm not too impressed with social media at all. And this is almost this is not almost. This is very reluctantly. I have now created a new profile. So you might think, if he doesn't want to do it, why the hell would you do it? I get this ridiculous amount of signs in my life. Like I know exactly what I need to do at a given moment. Doesn't mean I always want to do. But the reality is, if you fight against fate, if you like, if you fight against what you should be doing, then you're only going to make your life harder. So, my life is intertwined between personal growth and spirituality. It's all encompassing. It kind of makes me powerful in the sense that I'm always fulfilling a purpose. I'm always getting things done. Effectively, we're building a legacy. It's building a legacy, isn't it? I mean, look at my books. I'm doing more and more. But yeah, I recognize that the things I hate about social media is that someone needs to infiltrate it, though, and sort of like show people about being authentic, being true to yourself. So yeah, I do understand that maybe me being there, eventually, maybe it does serve its purpose, but it's going to be a grind to do it. It's what I'm making a point here is it's reluctant. So if anyone ever sees this profile has 1 view or a million views, it really doesn't matter. Just know, even if there's a million subscribers, followers, whatever you want to call it, just know that I don't really want to be there. Doesn't mean I won't grow into it in the future, but ultimately, this is more me just putting myself out there to try to help people. It's not something I'm particularly excited about at all. Whether it picks up and gains traction or whether it doesn't, it's more work. It's just more work that I don't need. That's the thing. I'm already getting burnt out by the amount of content I'm doing over all of my YouTube. I've been doing this channel for just the past year, and it's like 700 videos nearly. And then I've shown it before, like I've got my gaming one. That's nearly 100 videos, nearly. And then I've got my reading one, which I think is probably about 15 videos or something. I don't really know. 11 videos. And I intend to fill these pages out at some later date. And I've already, like, if anyone has seen the previous videos, next year, going into 2026, I've got books I'm working on. So I've already said that the videos are likely to slow while I focus on the book projects and earning an income. My finances going into Christmas are a freaking nightmare, like really, really bad. And it's pressure and stress I don't need. Like, it's unbearable. But I pick myself up and I just push forward every day. Doesn't matter how hard it is, I just get up and go. Just keep moving forward. But people, I don't think, would realize just how difficult it is. Like, it's ridiculous, Yeah, I always say sometimes it's self-inflicted, but we have to sort of like work our way through life beyond the mundane. So yeah, but yeah, anyway, so like, I have to find a balance with it all, don't I? I want nice things in my life. I want nice experiences. I want holidays, and this year hasn't afforded me any of those. Like, really, I've had some nice things, but I've had to sacrifice to have the nice thing. For instance, if you talk about, so I do get blessings along the way that you could put down to anything, but it's just the way things happen for me is quite beautiful, really, when I really want or need something. But I rarely get more than that. You know, I don't usually get bonus blessings or something. Something. It's usually I have to give up something to have. It's never really. I just get a sort of gift. You know, I don't get nice things. It's just like in terms of like just given to me. There's a sacrifice that comes with it to a degree. For instance, built my new computer, so it's really powerful now. I can play everything I want, but I don't have to worry about like videos cutting off and there's all these other issues where maybe there's not, because I was using a gaming laptop to create an awful lot of my content. So it did hinder my gaming experience, but also when I'm recording, I'd have sometimes issues with it because it's like over exceeding its power and system resources. I'm like trying to make this laptop, this gaming laptop, I'm trying to turn it into a fully fledged computer. And there's only so many ports. So there's so much power draw coming off it. I don't want to bore people with that, but I really wanted to create a brand new gaming PC that's really powerful enough that I know when I plug things in, it's never a burden, you know. And I'm very fortunate I have it, like, and I really wanted that. And I was like, you know, I'm sick of not having nice like the things I need, like if I'm going to create. So I sold the laptop, and then I built this computer. And I sold some other things. I can't remember everything I sold now. I sold quite a few things, and it afforded me the opportunity to do it because this computer, for instance, to build the tower, was about almost double the price of the laptop. So what I got for the laptop, I still had to find the rest. Anyway, don't want to digress too far. So I do want to make the point that nice things do happen to me. I don't take it for granted. I do feel privileged to have that. But it wasn't just a given, you know. It's not like I just got that and I get to keep the other nice things. It's like I usually have to lose something to gain it. It's just I'm quite good at, or quite blessed, I'd say, to tend to get the things I need or I want, if that makes sense. But again, no more, no less. It's just, but like I say, when it comes to money, it's always a nightmare. But anyway, like I say, you know, when I sold all that, of course I could have done with the money. But then, if you think about this, if I sold when I sold the laptop, yeah, I could really done with that money. I could done with holding on to it, and it'd help me through this Christmas period. But then, how would I create any content? It's like I would have nothing. I've got no device. The whole point of selling the laptop was to build the computer. It'd make absolutely no sense to lose that and have nothing. Literally, I wouldn't even be able to be on camera now. So anyway, I just don't want to digress too far with that. Just making the point, really, that sometimes nice things come, and it's easy to miss it and dismiss the I guess the beauty sometimes. But it is really hard at the moment. And like I say, I'm readjusting priorities going into next year. And not in the sense that this year's been a failure. It's more that, you know, I feel like I've accomplished a lot. If we're talking about the amount of content I've created, like I just said there, you know, it's a lot of videos, it's a lot of stuff. And I was happy to put the videos down for a year or so, you know, just get on with the books. I've got 3 books at least. Actually, there's more. There are 3 are the ones that are guaranteed, you know. The others there's others I've like started touches, like little bits in them before, not a lot, but it's like, there's concepts. So I'm actually really excited about going in that direction for a bit. You know, something else I've noticed before I go on a huge, not huge, but any tangent. It's kind of weird because sometimes I get frustrated, you know, like deeply. And I've always known this about myself. I'm like an introvert extrovert. It's weird. Like I can't be pigeonholed. And and there was a video come up yesterday, and I just thought that's probably more like what I am, like to a degree. It says you're a friendly introvert, so you can get caught up, being around others' company and all those things, and you can enjoy that company, but it can drain you. So ultimately, you are an introvert. Like you like spend time on your own, and I thought that's exactly what it is. That's what I'm like. So like for instance, I'll put myself out there because I know people need that, and I can thrive in it. You know, I'm good with people, but I do really like my own company and have my own goals and my own dreams, and it's just I like to be in my own energy. You know, so I'll have ideas and things I want to accomplish, and I'll go full throttle into it, and it's almost like I get resentful somehow. And then I get burnt out from it. So I really just, so it's almost like I've created all these videos if you think in an extroverted way, putting myself out there, I'm doing it, and then it's like all of a sudden now I just want time for me, and I start getting frustrated that I don't have that. It's a bit like I think one of the best examples there is the gaming content. I'm doing it for people, but for me as well. So I want to introduce people to different types of games and just show how interesting it can be in various genres and styles and all those things. But for me also, like when life gets busy, I can, rather than, if I haven't got time to just load a game, play it, and we might not even be nearby, you know, you might be traveling, who knows? I can, like return to that game through the video. And so there's two, it's an audience and for me, but it also slows me down because I might just think for right now, like I could just sit here and think, oh, I feel like chilling out, playing something. Oh, wait a minute, you've already started a video series for that one. So if you want to be, if you're happy to be on camera and you play it on camera, then yeah. But if you don't fancy being on camera right now, you can't replay that because it ain't gonna make sense because you can't follow on properly. So it's like, oh, I can't play that. You know, so now I feel like I'm bound by this bloody thing, and it does my head in. To be totally honest, so I'm always like in conflict with myself to a degree. It's almost like I give myself things to do, and it's like I'm just tired. Like I'm genuinely tired, you know. So, like I say, the idea of like creating the social media channel, I don't feel excited about it at all. Like it's just more work for me. So, like I say, even if it grew and people appreciating things, it's like it's nice because that's the whole point, is to help people. But I'm giving up a lot to do it. And I have never seen the benefit of anything I've done so far, financially or any otherwise. You know, it's not changed my life in a positive way like that. I'm proud because I've achieved things, like personal accomplishments on that side. Yeah, proud and creating something. But ultimately, it's not changing the fundamentals of my life, though. It's still hard, you know. So I'm giving up an awful lot of my time, and this is going to create this is going to be so time consuming. And I'm not even enjoying it. So that's the part. It's a grind for me. And you would think for anything to be successful, surely you need to have a passion for it and like a positive mindset towards it. And right now, I don't have either of those things. Ultimately, what's really going to happen is, because I'm not going to sit here and record 2 separate videos all the time. That's just thick. Like, why would I do that? I'm definitely not doing that. So, who wants to do this? Like, for instance, I've always resented, like, for instance, if we talk about social media side of things, I've always resented the short-term attention span of people. Like, I don't like it. So, like, if someone only wanted to watch something for the best part of 60 seconds, they'd watch someone else because I'm not built for that shit. I'm not interested in sound bites. But yet, to do social media, it needs to be sound bites. So I record a video, and I do watch it back. I watch all my content back. So if it's an hour, I will watch it for an hour. But I like to enjoy watching it for an hour. Now, I've got to be able to, if I want to watch it, which is how I will do it, to do social media, I then have to work my way through it and pick out bits that I think, oh, that's a good section for a minute and a half. Or maybe I cut this bit and this bit just because there's maybe a bit where I've maybe indulged a little bit. So take that out to make it a bit more impactful. But that's a whole work process. This is a whole video editing session here. So people might see videos on the social media. Maybe it's good, maybe it's not. But understand, that's took me hours. Like, not just video editing isn't an hour. Video editing's a few hours. It's a nightmare. It's a pain in the absolute arse, believe me. So if you see a few videos on social media, that's more hours of my time after I've even done a video. Like, I like YouTube because I can record and I can just put it out there. I don't have to edit it. I just put it out. It's just done. Like, I do the first take, it's done. I'm not going to sit and do take. And I find that far more beneficial to me. It's not even, but even then I've been saying I'm going to take time away to work on my books. I can't do everything and have all the energy in the world. So is it priorities? Is it the video content on YouTube? Is it my books? Or is it spend hours doing video edits of my current videos? You know, it's like, I don't have all the energy to do everything all the time. It's ridiculous. I'm burning out as it is, and my finances are freaking a nightmare. So balance that shit. So going into 2026, once Christmas is finished, there will be an urgency from me to return to traditional jobs. Like, but I always say it, like warehouse forklifting. That's what my background is beyond the stuff I do. I need my immediate finances improving. And what I do hasn't afforded me that. And I haven't got months and years to keep waiting for it to pick up. So, you know, I do return to those settings. And then if I feel compelled to work on projects, I'll leave again if I feel I should. because I'm not here to just do that forever, like continuously. I don't want to say it's beneath me, but I've outgrown that shit. But the other stuff I haven't picked up to help me survive or even thrive. I want a holiday, for God's sake. So once that happens, my time is going to be taken up a lot. I can still work on my books after work in the evenings and things, and I can still work on them on the weekend. That's going to be exhausting. I've done it in the past. I can do it. I can manage it. But there's no way I'm doing a traditional job where I have to work all those out, like plenty of hours, work on a book as well, and then do video content on the side and edit that video content. That is not going to happen. So something's got to give. And I'm saying right now, it's not my books. The books will be coming out next year. So this social media. See, people might think, why the hell are you waffling about a social media channel? Because Spirit wants me doing this bloody social media channel. I use my tarot cards. If anyone's seen my videos over the past, God knows how long, every time I mention social media, they're in favour of it. Every time I mention my book, yeah, we need to get that book done. Or what do you want from me? It's mental to me. It really is. But it's always a push for social media. And even like last night, I was like, what do you want? Like, what do you freaking want from me? This is a joke. But you're just fighting against something. If you know you should be doing something and you don't do it, all you're doing is delaying the inevitable. And that's the thing with me. If you watch me, I don't delay the inevitable. I just get on with it. But man, this is just another layer of shit for me, really. So I was sitting there and I was thinking last night, well, what do I just reactivate my old account? It's got like, I think 12 to 14,000 followers. I think the algorithm's completely shit on that platform, on that one, to be totally honest, because most of them really people weren't watching my videos and things. So I think it's just over time my content was so different around that it just have so much content. It's not always serious. It wasn't always like one direction of. So that means the audience is a mess and the algorithm's screwed up. And because I'd paid promotions sometimes, like just to promote my books, only a little bit, nothing big. All of a sudden, I think TikTok has a very sketchy algorithm where if you've ever paid money to them to promote, they will hold all your content back to try to make you keep paying. It's really dodgy as shit. And I noticed it was from that moment, that's when it all started to go downhill. And that's that's not right. I don't trust TikTok at all. At all. Their community guidelines are absolute shit. So you constantly get in trouble with them. It's just I don't really care for it at all, personally. But yeah, anyway, I asked for my cards last night. Well, I said I'm going to ask this question, and there's going to be two sides to it: whether I should reactivate my old account or make a brand new one. Because I thought I need to make this really clear. So I said, should I reactivate my old account? I think I got like the nine of swords or something. So it was quite obvious no. And then it was, I can't remember the card for the four. I think it was two of pentacles, which I thought was interesting because it was showing a level of balance. I thought, what the hell are you saying to me? That one's obvious to no, but the yes isn't so clear. So then I said, right, I need something clearer than this. So I did it again. It was absolutely, not to reactivate the old account. Because I think the old account was growing to who I am today. And I think it was so convoluted. You can sort of understand. And the algorithm was already screwed, with TikTok being dipshits. And sometimes I think it's nice to start from the bottom. So anyway, that's why that profile's coming to be from there. But like I say, for me, it's a grind. It's just hassle, absolute hassle now. I was trying to reduce my load going into Christmas. And then as soon as Christmas is over, like going to the new year, it was straight away, it was going to be like, let's find a traditional job. Let's get back into the workplace, get the finances improving quite quick, as quick as possible. And also just go straight at the books. Let's just work now. Let's work on this project and that. And the videos will have to slow down because I can't do everything. It's like I don't have the energy for it and I don't have the desire for it. There was a time, and it's the thing that people might not realize, like, there was a time, like back in 2022, I think it was. I think it's 2022. I'd left the job to write a book, finish one of my books, finish my book. And of course, in that time, I've had downtime. I think I've accomplished a lot. At that time, I think I'd done 4 books. And I thought, well, okay, I'll apply. I might apply to do university, just get a degree. I might do that on the side. Yeah, I mean, I could do that. And I had to go for a whole appeals thing because hadn't completed a previous study, which is completely irrelevant. It was computer science. I got bored of it. It was like binary and all sorts of networking eventually. It's not always what you think it's going to be. And heavy high level maths. It's just boring, man. All those together, networking, computer networking, binary, which was included within that concept, and high level maths. It's like, it just makes you want to shoot yourself. That's just shit. I'm sorry. That's mind numbing. It's not really inspiring, is it? But I thought, yeah, I could do English because I'm good at English. I've done my books. It's interesting to a degree. The subject, not the writing, the subject of what they want you to learn. And like the people support. I can't remember what they call it. I don't know if it's people support or whatever they call them. Student support. They actually got back to me and said this is one of them. They obviously have to chat to you after. We had a good chat, and they were really impressed. They said this is one of the best appeals we've had. This was the Open University. They said it's one of the best ones we've had. Because I was using the point that since I'd stopped studying, I've actually done books, and I've shown a consistency with those books. An aptitude for English in itself, but also the fact that I always fulfill my deadlines and accomplish things. But anyway, we went that. Then we had deep chat, and then it turned out that they'd recognised I'd be good with philosophy because I like to challenge the status quo, push boundaries. And I thought, okay, that's interesting. So, but everybody had to start. I think there's like the first lesson, the first one. I think most people have to do if they're going down the English like sciences, those sort of things. But it was very fast paced, where I wasn't getting out of it what I wanted. The study was. I've said about it before. We were studying Cleopatra, then like Queen Elizabeth, Virgin Mary. But I was like, my mind was just wanting to focus. I'm learning all about Cleopatra and her life, her history, diplomacies and things like that, and where she's having to. You're looking between the lines and gaining an image of that person, and I just wanted to stay there. I'm like, I'm really enjoying this. It's only a week. On to the next one. It's like, no, I'm still learning about Cleopatra, because by the time the studies had kicked off, I had acquired a really, really good job. For me, it was a lot. It was the best salary I had. I think it was on like 28 grand a year. That was a lot for warehousing back then. Things have moved forward a bit now, but that was for someone like with what I was earning. It was nice. It was paying all my bills. I had luxuries. I could buy myself gadgets and all sorts of shit. I wasn't worrying about money. So, but it's taken all my time, because there was overtime. It was a brand new build to the company, so they only hired a certain amount. We was the first ones through the door. We're learning about, we're the ones building this up from the ground, really. So there was a lot of extra overtime that was required on the weekends, in the evenings, and you just find yourself in, like, everybody's doing it together, we'll muck in, great. Because I'd already done my book. So I'd already accomplished the book, now I'm doing this. All of a sudden, the studies start. I'm working from freaking 8 in the morning till sometimes 7 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock at night. Not every time. Sometimes you finish at 5 or 6, but you're exhausted. Because we'd also do the weekends, and it's like, it was a means to an end for a period of time, but it was exhausting. And meanwhile, I've got to study. And it's like, and the study's going faster than I want. I'm still on Cleopatra, and you've just moved on to that. And it's not because I'm a slow person. I'm busy with this, and I'm just enjoying learning her. And I realized the whole study, which they didn't make clear, was just to recite and quote passages. That was the key skill they were trying to get from you. I only figured that out when I was passing the as you got through it. I think after you learn about 3 people, I think you only had to learn. There was like, for each stage there was 3 people from history, and you only had to cover 2 of them. So where I said it had Queen Elizabeth, the Virgin Mary, and Cleopatra. When you write your feedback, I don't know, we call it that essay. I don't know what it is. What the assignment. You only had to talk about 2 of them. So I forgot. I hadn't even learned about Queen Elizabeth. I couldn't be asked. I was like, no, I've learned about Virgin Mary, and I've done Cleopatra. We'll just do that. I passed that, but through the feedback, it was quite evident they didn't even care about half of what you've said. It was more about just reciting, and I thought, well, that just makes me a robot. But I get the skill, but this is just going to be a long year if that's all you want from me. I got all the other shit. But my whole point to all of that is to show that it's really not easy to balance so many things. That was a push for me to do the books because I still had while I was at that job, I still had book projects. And it was like, I can't do, there's no way. There's just no way. You can't ask that of anyone, you know? And I'm getting sick and tired of being just dragged left, right, and center. When you're not doing traditional work, this is the thing, people consider you lazy. You're working on creative passions. I'm accountable. I'm consistent, you know, I do so much. And it's easy for people then to think that's lazy. It's like, no, other people make a fortune just doing one of those things. The videos I do, there's people that do video content and they make a living off that. There's people that write books and they make a living off that. There's people that do a podcast, they make a fortune out of it. I don't make anything off anything. So I write my books and it's just it doesn't get me anywhere. I do my videos, doesn't get me anywhere. I did the podcasts, didn't get me anywhere. It's like, this is ridiculous. So then you go back to a traditional job. How many people work in traditional? I'm not saying that people don't. How many people, though, doing traditional jobs also have side projects as well? How many people doing that? I'm not saying they don't. Again, I'm not saying they don't, but to the level that I'm expected to do. You work full time. Now, go and release 3 books next year. So you're going to go and work full time. You're going to do 40 hours a week. You also, in the evening and the weekend, you're going to produce 3 books that year. On top of that, you're going to record videos for YouTube because people need it. And there's going to be content there that's going to help people because it's bigger than me. Right. And also on the side of that, find a few hours after every video to edit the shit out of them for social media. I think you go and kiss my ass. To be totally honest, this is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. I'm not a freaking dancing monkey. You know, we all need downtime. We all need time to enjoy ourselves. I'm not burning myself out for this shit. So, like I say, I follow Spirit's path, the guidance I receive, but I am temperamental and I will do what I feel I need to do. So, for instance, if they're not going to support me, if for whatever reason that is, they're not going to give me my breakthrough where I can actually make a living doing what I've been doing, and I have to take matters into my own hands to go to traditional work, then a lot of this has to go on the back burner because I don't have the time or energy to just keep doing everything. Yeah, I do feel resentful towards it. I'm fed up. Personally, this is ridiculous. It's just I'm out always juggling, and I have been for years. So that's the funny thing. Like I said there, when I leave jobs and people consider me reckless, naive, whatever they want to put it down to, it's easy to then label me lazy. But I look at what I've done and I'm thinking I've done it loads. And then when you go back to the workplaces and you're doing the same thing everybody else is doing, and yet you've done all these other things and you continue to do them, people wonder how it's possible. It's like, so either you're overworking or you're not working enough. It's like, it's never in between, is there? Most people, they get to go to work and they'll say how exhausting it is, like it ain't exhausting for everyone else. You know, if I'm going to the workplaces and I'm just as exhausted as everyone else, you know? And it's like other people can go sit at home, put the telly on, scratch their ass, do nothing with their time, make every excuse as to why they haven't got the energy to do anymore. The weekend comes, they need downtime, they need a rest from the week they've had. I'm not saying that ain't deserved and it's not like necessary. Maybe they are exhausted, but aren't we all? But me, I would be expected to still, it's like not from people expectation of myself, and also spirit, the pressure in my head, because that's what they put me under all the time, to always be achieving. So there's always this pressure on me all the time. So when I'm actually doing the same thing everybody else is doing, I don't get to sit on the sofa and scratch my ass. Do you know what I mean? I don't get to just like be at restful state. My mind is always pressure. There's always more you could be doing. So I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't. And it's just getting on my bloody nerves, to be totally honest. I don't feel it was a waste of time doing the YouTube videos, but I do feel there should be more progress. You know, you do a video, you get 4 views. It's like, did I sit there for an hour for 4 views? Not being funny. It's like the odds of anybody, anytime someone creates anything, it's very unlikely the first few people that come across something are interested in it. You know, it's not to say that you can't expect everybody to like what you do. It's not going to happen in any walk of life. You know, so you might come across videos on YouTube, for instance, and it's not even a topic you're interested in, or whatever it is. You know, you don't always like every video you come across. So really, to understand whether something is good enough or not, it really needs like a minimum subset of people. I'd say about 200 people to then know whether it's good. 4 people doesn't determine anything. 10 people doesn't. Even 20, even 50 people for me doesn't determine it. So even if I got a negative reaction from 50 people who've watched like 50 views or something, that wouldn't even matter to me. There's not enough. That's not enough of an algorithm. So I don't know if what I do is good enough. You know, I feel proud. I've watched what I do. I'm impressed by it. But then, am I ahead of my time? Are people even ready for what I talk about? You know, I always find this weird balance between personal growth and spirituality. I'm not even sure if people are ready for spirituality. That's why I always backtrack and have to try to integrate it in a weird way. Like I'm always like thinking, oh, I'm gonna have to talk about it. I don't know if people are ready for it. I don't even know if people want to hear that, or if they understand, or they just think you're crazy. And it's like, pfft. But then at the same time, maybe people are ready for it, and maybe people have their own experiences, and it validates to them a bit. So maybe it is helpful more than I realize. I just think half the time it makes me look crazy, so I try to explain it. I don't know, man. I'm just tired. I thought I was going into the next year. Well, that's our fault. I can still do that, of course. I'm free will. But like I say, if you go against what you're supposed to do, you're just delaying the inevitable. I just don't know how the pieces come together. There's too much. It's too much. You know, I have things I want to achieve as well. You know, I'm not here to burn myself out on an annual basis. I'm not a freaking machine. You know, I want holidays. Holidays mean downtime. Holidays mean relax. That's what I want. I want a nice break, but I'm actually enjoying myself, you know? And of course, there's downtime at home as well. This can't be just work your ass to death. I'd have no problems. I have no problems putting myself back in a workplace for a set period of time, even though I think, what's the point? Like, if you think about your use of your time, what's the point? It pays the bills, yeah, but then what I do should already pay the bills. So beyond paying the bills, what am I actually contributing of meaningful to the world? Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, I could be putting my skills towards more positive things that can actually, what I would perceive to help other people and open their mind and transform and invest in themselves. That's more a valuable use of time to me. Instead, you have to put that on the back burner to go and move boxes and shit. And it's like, well, that's great because a robot could do that crap, couldn't it? So, but if that's the way the universe wants to play silly shits with me, then I'll go do that. But I'm not a dancing monkey, and I do get resentful. I do understand that sometimes, like I said, maybe sometimes ahead of time, maybe the world isn't ready for that yet. Maybe the opportunity or position isn't available, you know, whatever it is. But I'm getting sick and tired of it because this social media shit that I don't want to do, this crap, you know, is going to be me taking time out for a set period of time every time. So let's say I do an hour video. Think about that. An hour video means I've got to watch that video for at least an hour. This is what I'm saying. It's going to take ages. You know, let's say I think, oh, that was a good bit for 2 or 3 minutes there. That beginning there, that bit there. Well, I have to cut it, the full video editor. Not too much, but you just got to cut it. Then I've got to make sure the file, all the settings are exactly right. Right. Then I need to encode it to turn it into a video. That snippet, right, that one's done. Now, you can either just do it in bulk, you know, go back, press undo so it gets rid of the cut you did, but you've got your last line. Then you have to remove up to that point. Then we've got to find another cut. And then we keep it's just a whole process. We keep going back and forward. Then we've got to upload them. And then you've got to cut, when you upload them, you've got to put a title, a description, look through the hashtags. You know, and it's like, oh, but it's every time. It's a process. So there's no way an hour video takes an hour to edit. No. That's going to take, I think, 2 or 3 times longer than that, at least. You've got an hour video, you're going to be sitting there for 2 or 3 hours minimum. Messing about, back and forward, upload, title, description, hashtags. 2 views. Like, why am I even doing this shit? Maybe it's for people in the future. Maybe it's not. But it's like, this is more work for me. 2 or 3 hours. Think about that in the new year when I said I'm going to work on my books. 2 or 3 hours. I could be heavily into a chapter on a book. I'm quite fast worker like that. But then you've got to edit. The whole process to a book. It takes about 3 months ish. It depends on the topic and what. It might even start taking me longer now. You know. I've got no time frame in mind, but the reality is, let's say 3 books. Let's say 3 books next year. Ultimately, you'd say 3 months a book, wouldn't you? That's 9 months of 12 months because you still need some time. Like I said, I want a holiday. I want other things, but that's going to be surely. That's where my mind don't make sense. I've got to expect for me working full time next year and producing 3 books would be. I think some people would consider that a miracle. I think some people would say that. Oh, I'll be proud of that. I'll be proud of that. But yeah, I still got to do videos here potentially, and I've still got to sit around editing shit. I don't know how that works out. I have no idea how this is supposed to play out at all. I haven't even got time for social media. And I don't even like the platform. And I think people are too quick to react a lot. I get fed up with people on these platforms, the way they comment, because what it is, I'm getting fed up. I'm trying to change the mold. I'm sick and tired of it. People are so quick to react to things, rather than having a deep think before they speak, before they react. It's just all the time, and it's a cultural thing that's been really encouraged for so long. So I find comment sections of most people's content toxic. Some people have a nice community, but get infiltrated by the odd idiot. But some people just attract the idiots, And it's just so I just think, what's the point? I haven't got the reality is I don't have the time to keep looking through it all either. So even if I enable comments, who are they commenting to? I haven't got time to keep back and forward in. Got enough shit going on over here, Especially social media. That's just full of you got to look at what the community is. At the moment, the people are attracted to these corrupt influencers. Well, where the hell do I fit in with that? Because I don't want to be around these people. I don't want to be around corrupt influencers. But the people that are attracted to that, they're not going to be bothered with what I'm doing. Well, that's a bit of a ranty video. I'm sure my frustration's coming across quite deeply. But yeah, I don't know how I'm supposed to find the time for it personally. I just don't get it. When you watch, I watch, you see people's podcasts. Now, mine's usually sport, but I've seen that some of them they have big teams. You don't even realize it. Like they press record, they've got big teams. They have social media teams behind them. So they'll be having people that are taking. All they have to do, because these people are not like tech savvy. All they've got to do is sit like how I'm sitting in front of the microphone now. That's all they've got to do, and they make good money out of it, and they grow their profile. I have to buy this whole setup, no investment. I have to buy it all. So build the computer, bought it, buy this microphone stand. This arm alone is £100. Microphone's 160, £170. The audio interface it goes into is another 150 quid or whatever. So you're looking at I don't know what numbers we're looking at here, about £500 ish, £500, I guess, just for those 3 items. Then we've got £100 webcam. That's actually a good bargain for what the quality it produces. Then you've got I don't know what we're looking at here, £1,200-1,500 computer. Screen, the light, green screen. I don't make anything from this stuff. It's just cost me money. And it's all me. So I'm not trying to look for sympathy. I'm just trying to show the differences here. I'm having to do it all myself. I have to set up the software. Unfortunately, I know how to do it all, but it's annoying because before I do every video, I have to make sure the microphone's definitely this microphone. It's not using a webcam microphone. It's not trying to do any other dodgy shit. Hasn't disabled it because there's no point. I've had that in the past. You learn from experience, I've had it before where it switches microphone or it just turns it off. And then you're like, go to watch it, you go, I've just lost all that. Or the sound's terrible. So I have to always make sure everything's working. So I don't have sound check people. I'm the sound check. I'm the computer technician. I'm the admin. Other people have like social media guru people. They'll have like a whole team behind them and they'll literally be creating snippets all the time. So they sit there and record for an hour, whatever they've done. They leave. And they've got a whole team of people who are then creating loads of clips for their profiles. And you think, oh, this is quality, it's professional. But they've got a team doing this shit, man. I'm doing it on my own. And that's just one branch of all the other shit I've got going on. Anyway, just a one-man mountain, I guess. But I only have so much energy in this world. It's just I'm getting fed up. personally. And this is social media for me is the last of my concern, genuinely. So people are free to follow, not follow it. I don't know if it's going to be any good personally. I don't know. But anyway, that's where I am apparently.